Hey, what's up, guys? Kyle again, back with the video. Today, I want to do my NFL wild card picks. So we actually have the number one seed there, so we have a bye this week. So we're waiting. We're waiting. Whoever wins in these games whoever wins in these games for the AFC, we're waiting for them to come to Denver. So let's get on to the picks. Last week I won 11-5 overall. 179, 72, and 1. So let's get on to the picks there. So we got Saturday, the first NFC wildcard match, 2:30 Mountain Time, Primetime Fox. We got the 5th seed, LA Rams, at the 4th seed, Carolina Panthers. Going with the Rams here to win. I think the Rams actually have a little bit more advantage there. I think the Rams actually have more advantage there with Puka Nacua there. Stafford is mostly going to have mostly going to find his targets in this game there, and I think he can actually do something in this game. The Rams there actually have a really strong defense there. I trust the Rams defense mostly to take care of Carolina there. Carolina there, they technically just won by a fluke. They technically won by that game by a fluke there. Mostly they're in a 4-game losing streak there. They're massively struggling there. They only got in because the Falcons got them in there last week. So I think the Panthers there is massively going to struggle. But Bryce Young there, he's still a sneaky quarterback. I still believe Bryce Young is still a sneaky ass quarterback there. But I'm gonna say the Rams win it. Going with the Rams, I'm going to say the Rams win it here over the Panthers. That's it for the first wild card match. So it's for the NEC. So let's go to the second wild card match for the NEC. We got a 6 o'clock Mountain Time Prime Video. We got the 7th seed Green Bay Packers at the 2 seed Chicago Bears. I'm going to go with the Bears here to win. The Bears there actually have mostly this game right here. I don't know who I might actually possibly might pick. This game could go back and forth there. Jordan Love there. He is fully back in this game there. I mostly trust. This game is going to be mostly kind of like a back and forth type of game. The Packers might get an early enough lead. I might say the Packers might actually get an early enough lead there. But without Michael Parsons there, and without Michael Parsons there, even they kept up with them last time there. So they kept up with them last time there, even without Michael Parsons. So it's technically an interesting game there to see what the Bears can actually fully do in this game, or the Packers. But this game is going to be a back and forth type of game. This is going to be a possibly game of the week here. This is possibly one of the games of the week here, but not really a game of the week, but this game is going to be a back and forth type thing. I might see a lot of touchdowns. I possibly will not see a lot of defense in this game here, but I'm going to say the Bears win it in a close fashion. I think Green Bay will be in the lead, and I think Chicago will possibly score a upsetting touchdown to win the game. I think they're going to upset the Packers here. I think the Bears are going to upset the Packers here and beat them. It's going to be a really close game, but I think they're going to beat them by 1. I think the Bears are possibly going to beat the Packers by 1 in this game. This game is going to be close, but I think the Bears eke it out and win this one against the Packers. That's it for the second NEC wildcard game. So let's move on to Sunday, January 11th. We got the first AFC wildcard game. We got 11 o'clock game, Mountain Time, Primetime, NBC. We got the 6th seed Buffalo Bills at the 3rd seed Jacksonville Jaguars. Going with the Jags here to win. I think the Jags there look really outstanding there. I think they can actually do something to go against Buffalo. Trevor Lawrence there, he can actually use a lot of his legs in this game there. So his legs are really, really threatening there. They actually have really good receivers there. Jacksonville can actually throw to and stuff like that. Mostly going against this Bills team there. The Bills only have Josh Allen. The Bills only have Josh Allen and James Cook. They only have two that on offense there. But their defense is not really the best there. Their defense massively struggled this year. They've been massively struggling against teams this year and stuff. I do not see what the Bills can do. Yeah, Josh Allen can keep him in the game there. This game could be one of those type of games where both quarterbacks are going to use their legs. And I think that's what's actually going to happen there. This game is possibly going to be both quarterbacks using their legs there. Josh Allen using his legs and Trevor Lawrence using his legs. So I think it's going to be a possibly what type of a battle there of it this game is going to be. I'm going to say the Jaguars win. I trust the Jaguars to win it here because they actually have a strong defense there. And they really, really have a strong defense. They actually kicked our ass, and we actually had a really good defense. We had the number one defense in the NFL, and they kicked our ass with the number one defense. So I'm gonna say the Jaguars win it here over the Bills. Bills are gonna massively gonna struggle against the Jaguars. So that's it for the first AFC game. So let's move on to the third NEC game. We got a 2:30 game Mountain Time, primetime Fox. We got the 6th seed 49ers at the 3rd seed Philadelphia Eagles. I'm going with the Eagles here to win. I'm not going with the Eagles here. I'm going with the Niners here to win. The Niners there look really, real outstanding there. I think they can actually do something going against the Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles there have been inconsistent there. They kind of not been playing their best football at all. They've been having massive struggles there, and I do not see what the Eagles can actually do. Jalen Hurts, he doesn't look the best. Jalen Hurts has not been playing his best football there. And going against this Niners team there, who honestly kept up with Seattle there and kept up with Seattle last week and tried to win it last week. Mostly we've been seeing that last week. They technically kept up with Seattle, and I think Seattle kind of mostly was a better team there, but they kept up with them. Right in the end, they kind of gave up in the end, but I'm gonna say the Niners win it. You still have Christian McCaffrey. McCaffrey will possibly smoke this Eagles defense. The defense has been consistent there, or not really consistent, but that line is not the best the Eagles actually have. So I'm going to say Niners over Eagles. That's it for the third NEC wildcard game. So let's go to the second AFC wildcard game. We got a 6 o'clock game, Mountain Time, Primetime, NBC, and Peacock. We got the 7th seed LA Chargers at the 2 seed New England Patriots. Going with the Patriots here to win. Drake May there, he looked really, really outstanding there. The Patriots are on fire there. They mostly are kicking people's asses there. They looked really, really strong there. Going against this team there and stuff like that. The Chargers there, they technically did not. Mostly the Chargers didn't really play too much against us last week. They mostly had their backups playing against last week. But for 2 weeks ago, they kept up with the Texans there, and the Texans actually have technically the second best defense there in the National Football League. So I think they're going against this Patriots team there. It's going to be an interesting fight there and an interesting duel there. I think this game is going to be a possibly interesting fight, an interesting duel. Justin Herbert there, he might possibly be back in this game there. He is back in this game. I don't know if His wrist is fully gonna heal there because he does have that wrist injury there. It mostly might be concerning there. I know they rested him up last week because they were trying to heal up his wrist, but going against this Patriots team there, the Patriots are really good at stopping the run and stopping the pass there. So I'm gonna say Patriots win it over Chargers. That's it for that game. So let's move on to the third AFC divisional or AFC wild card match, and we got Monday Night Football. So we got Monday, January 12th, 6:15 Mountain Time, primetime, ESPN and ABC. We got the fifth seed Houston Texans at the third seed Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm gonna go with the Texans here to win. The Texans there actually has that really strong defense there. They look really outstanding there for it. The Texans do actually have that really strong defense there, and they can actually use that, mostly pressuring Rodgers in this game. Rodgers might actually massively struggle in this game here and stuff, but I do not see what they can actually fully do against that there. Teddy Rodgers there, he's not been playing the best football at all, but he's mostly he can just they're mostly they have bump in the roads there type of games. But I'm just mostly going against Houston. Houston actually has a really strong defense, and I'm not going to go against that Texans defense there. And I really wish the Steelers might win this game in a way. I want the Steelers to win this game in a way because the Texans there do have a really strong defense. We actually experienced them already when we already played against them the first time. But I think it's going to be an interesting fight here, and I think the Texans actually have a more edge here. Mostly even if the Steelers defense could get rattled a little bit of CJ Stroud in this game, because Stroud has not been playing his best football there. We'll see what happens in that terms. So I'm gonna say Texans win it here over the Steelers, and the teams I have advancing. I have the Rams advancing. I have the Bears advancing. I have the Jaguars advancing. I have the Eagles advancing. I have the Patriots advancing. And I have the Texans advancing. The teams are on bye. My Broncos are on a bye. And the Seahawks are on a bye. So, yep. Comment rate more sponsors, Tuesday Bros. We like webinars. Please hit. Comment rate more sponsors, Tuesday Bros. We like webinars. Please subscribe. Hit the bell notification when Super Bowls are on live streams. Comment sponsors, Tuesday Bros. Look out. I repeat.